You're not really.
Morning, everybody.
Morning.
Morning.
Let me go ahead and get started. Today, guys, my little training is going to be a bit of a review. But recently I've been doing some training with Eric Worre. I don't know how many of you are doing that. So this will be a review on a review. I'm going to talk a little bit about the fact that we are actually storytellers. We get paid for the stories that we tell. Remember that stories sell and facts tell. And what we're up to is helping people have the benefit of the gift that we bring to them. So we want to have really incredibly authentic, moving, passionate stories, right? We're also bridge builders, but we're going to focus on the storytelling. And one of the things that I think we don't do enough of is prepare our stories to really hone them down, get them good, and then, practice the repetition of them. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. As I said, facts tell and stories sell. So here's the thing. Your story is actually your calling card when you're dealing with your business. It is your biggest calling card. It gives you the door into somebody's heart and their minds. So you want to craft the story so that it is authentic, it's moving, it's emotional, and it touches the person you're talking to. All right. Now, I did a SIA Global Expansion training on stories. You can go back and find that in Atomic Wellness, I don't think Cindy's taken that down if you want a more extensive training on this. But I think the more I think about this, the more I realize how powerful and important they are to us. Okay. So you have to become also a story collector, because it's not only that we know our own story, it's important that we know others' stories. Like, let's take Cindy and Bo, for example. Cindy's story and Bo's story is profound. How many people do you know that would love to have their husband full-time at home and not having to go out and work their buns off, right? And Bo was taking risk just having to go across the mountain every single day. And Cindy was fed up with it. That was her big why. And I actually saw Cindy speechless on the stage when Bo let her know he was coming home, because they had created what her why was. That's an incredible story. And I'm not giving you the full Technicolor version of it, but if we get that story down, if we're talking to somebody who has that situation, we can plug in Cindy and Bo's story and get them to really take a look at what we have. All right. So you want to collect stories. Now let's think about what stories you want to collect. You can collect rags to riches story. That may not be your story. But listen, we have Tammy and Chuck Gates. We have Debbie Wetzler. We have all kinds of stories. Gina Moran, Lorene Bovart. Rags to riches. Lorene was taking money out of her girl's piggy bank. Can you imagine how her heart sank when she realized she had to do that? But you know what? Her neighbors didn't know. Her neighbors did not know that she was in that kind of a jam. But that kind of story really, really can make a difference when you're talking to somebody. We've got plenty of illness stories, right? I mean, I have 2 or 3 that have given my life and my heart. It swells when I think of the people that I've touched out of my sharing. It's not me touching them. It's me speaking and sharing a SIA and then watching them move through. I have one guy who was told he had less than 1% chance to live, and he was told he'd never walk again. That boy's dancing now. I mean, he is dancing. He's water skiing. Why? Because I had the risk and I went through the fear to tell his mom about a SIA. Okay, what about people saying, I don't have enough time? Again, you can go back to Debbie Wetzler. She built $1 million business in a 20-minute period of her break. Now, over time, she wasn't having that 20 minutes. But at the beginning, that's all she had. You may not know this story, but Trish Swinkler talked to a cab driver one day and asked him if he kept his business options open. He said, no, he doesn't, but his sister is a mad businesswoman. Trish found out about her. She was running 5 businesses. It took Trish 3 months to find her. And once she got her looking at the opportunity, That woman signed up and took off and took Trish to the top of her compensation plan in a different company than ours. But again, not enough time. Oh, busy people are good people to have. Not enough money. Oh, none of you've heard that. I don't have enough money to do this. Well, how does that feel? Again, we can go all back to the rags and riches stories and share. Those guys didn't have the money either. Some people borrowed money to buy the product. Heck, there's one woman that lined up 7 people, you guys. She went out and found 7 people to commit to buying, and then went and got a bank loan in order to get a big, huge entrepreneur pack, turned around and signed all those people up, paid her loan off, and she was ready to go. And guess what? Some of those people did exactly what she did, right? How powerful is that story? Gives you a whole nother strategy. All right, so here's the thing that I learned yesterday. And this is from Pat Quinn, who some call the presentation whisperer, because he knows how to tell a story like nobody else, okay? He says when you get an objection, for example, I don't have enough time. You can say, well, I don't know about that. All I know is Debbie Wetzler started her business when she was doing waiting tables. She only had 20-minute breaks, and that's when she did her business, right? So you plug the story in and just say, again, this is important. I don't know about that. All I know is, and then you can plug in the story that's going to fit best for that situation. All right. 4-part story formula. I'm not going to spend a lot of time in this. You want to explain your background, and you don't want it to go long. Terry Latham taught us that last week, right? You want to share your background, your profession. You don't want to go too long, but it lays the groundwork to build your reputation and your respect with the person you're talking to. By the way, it's also going to build relationship, because if I'm talking to a retired teacher and I let her know I also am a retired teacher, there's already a relatedness that we can start to feel that we have something in common. All right. What did I not like about that career? Important, you must limit it to 3 things, no more than 3, all right? And then you want to say, you know what? I found something. I found the solution. And again, you're going to share what that solution is. It's the pivot, right? So you're going to go from what you're moving away from to what you're moving toward. You know, we heard Zen talk about away from and toward. So again, in the solution, you're saying, this is where I was, this is where I'm moving to, right? One of the things for me as a school teacher, I hated that I was told what I had to teach, when I had to teach it, and then move on, whether my kids were ready or not. Can you imagine? I've got kids that are dying to understand this, and I have to go, well, we have to get to the next page, too bad. With this, I have control now. I have control of how I teach, what I teach, when I teach, and however long I want to give that lesson, okay? And by the way, I see this as an education business, not as a sales business. The last part is, how do you feel about your future? This is critical, you guys. Now, I ask my team sometimes, how do you feel about your future? And I don't get feeling words back. A lot of us were told not to feel when we grew up. As shocking as that might be, we were actually told, no, you can't get angry. No, you can't feel that. So a lot of us have tapped down the feeling that we like to share. So you got to get the feeling, ecstatic, excited, thrilled, over the moon, whatever you want to use, okay? This has to happen in less than 2 minutes. Cindy, I don't know how we're doing time-wise. Okay, so here's your assignment, and I've got 2. I want you to practice this in front of a mirror. And I want you to track your practice, add it to your DMO. So Bo taught us about the mirror exercise. Plug that in along with your mirror exercise. You're at the mirror, you might as well practice your story. Keep track, just like you track you're doing your NPR. Add it to the bottom. Today you did your story practice. Get it down cold so you can deliver it hot. Write it out, record it, and then post it. Oh, yes, I did. I said post it. This is not the new time. This is not the first time you've heard this. Cindy has said this to you, I don't know how many times. I'm saying it again. Duplication is a powerful thing. So now this, you can have a business story. You can have a company story. You can have your own personal story. You can share someone else's story. We're storytellers. We get paid to tell stories. Here's your assignment for today. Today, I want you to prospect people who have your former or current career. All right. So I want you to find people that kind of match with your experience. And you can do that with hashtags. For me, it might be a hashtag retired teachers. You know, for Cindy, it would be hashtag ski instructors. For Bo, it'd be old rugby players. Okay. All right. All right. Then I want you to reach out for people who are living your dream. They're living your dream. For me, that may mean beach. I'm going to the beach and I'm going to go find the people that are living on the beach. I don't know if I can find them with a hashtag, but I'm going to go to beach and I'm going to look and see because they're living my dream. So I'm killing two birds with one stone here, you guys. I'm finding people to prospect and I'm extending my dream. Okay. So we're dream builders. And lastly, reach out to people where you want to build your business. You know, yesterday, you guys, photography is a big thing for me. I was looking around and I found these stunning pictures of flowers. And so I made a comment to the person. They got back to me and they said, Peg, I'm so happy that you like my flowers. What do you think of the positive things that I said? And I went, I just saw the flowers. I went back and looked at the positive things. And then I looked her up. Guess where she lives? We're now friends, by the way. She lives in Malaysia. Yes, God, thank you. Thank you very much. Here's a talented woman who's into photography, who is into living positively, and she's from Malaysia. Would she be a possibly great partner for me? Yes, indeed. Absolutely. So there's your assignment for today. All right. Any questions before we jump in? Let me say this, get your energy up, okay? Here's what you are today, you guys. You are shooting stars today. You are bringing blessings and you're shooting stars. You're bringing light. You're bringing hope. You're bringing the answers. Promise. I promise you are. So with 3 claps of your hand, let's go and make a big old difference. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Yeah.